I do always verbally reward them.
Well, if I'm
for
so
going
damn
back.
good, give me a cookie.
Yep. So here's what I was talking about for you, right? She's just letting him work, but really, there's one box that he hasn't checked in.
Right.
I don't want to necessarily point it out since it's the only box he hasn't checked yet, but when my dog misses something, a bunch of the time, that's when I'm going to guide them in that
Back,
general direction. Nice job.
You're not telling them, but you're making sure they
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta check that
I
spot.
tell you literally when you say don't.
And I had.
Oh, handle, yeah, you're right, you're right.
He was still circling around in this area, and I thought, well, let's just let
You're
him
fine.
look at all the.
He wasn't doing it for a long enough time. I was
Yeah.
just saying, you could see he missed that one box,
Yes.
a few passes,
Yeah.
but he was still actively, searching around. See, Theo just kind of got stuck, like,
Yeah.
I'm searching these four, these
Yeah.
four, these four. So it's like, get him
That's
somewhere
my
else.
boy.
Are you old enough to remember 45s? That's what they did.
Actually, listen to those as a kid. My mom had a huge box of them. All right. So,
You're gonna want to see this, Carolyn.
We're gonna want to see this. So what-
You're gonna want to see what she did here.
so
what did she do?
that's your birch tin.
What is there, one?
One, keep it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I know. And wait till you.
What? Because they found it with one Q-tip?
No.
You know where she's going, don't you?
There's a bazillion. Yeah.
I can smell it.
She dumped the whole jar.
My entire jar of clove is in here.
I sit there and I've been over it and holy.
All right. So here's the thing.
So no wonder she wanted to pull me over there.
Yes. Here's the thing that I said though. Before we even started running dogs, do you remember what I said?
No.
I'd like to have this sit for an hour because they'll run
Oh,
it
then
differently.
it would be really different, wouldn't
With
it?
the fringe probably, or, but then the whole area would be permeated with that.
Permeated with it.
Yeah.
Clove is the most pungent, thick odor
I can smell it.
from here, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's actually. Sammy went right to it.
She did.
She did.
Some dogs work better through it than others. So, two dogs, if you actually saw them, pretty clearly avoided.
Yes, he
back
did.
box.
He
Yeah,
went
that's
over
why I
there.
I really want to go back there.
Because they don't.
Yeah.
Because it's so heavy, they're like, yeah, oh my God. Just like Carolyn did. Oh my God.
When he came out, he kind of fixed around the area. He was licking more. He came out and was like, no,
Yeah.
you was a blizzard.
Kind of drunky, right? Oh my gosh. Okay.
So they found one birch in the suitcase, which you would think would be really hard, because.
Which makes me think of the dumbbell.
But it
right?
all,
Yeah.
well, that and it also again is like back to my question about the source. It doesn't matter. It's here, and this is where it's the strongest.
Exactly. So that just exactly answers your question.
Yeah.
Also,
However, on the clove,
Yeah. It really
it
goes
was like,
yeah, and so, but that's what I'm saying. So when you think of the putting oil directly on a Q-tip,
yeah.
your dogs would struggle in doing that, right? Wow, I don't really want to go over. Doesn't mean they wouldn't find it,
Right.
okay? But I mean that means something to them. They're like, that's too much. Now maybe if it was anise or birch, it would be better. That's why I use clove because it's so thick.
Well, and if we can smell the clove,
Imagine what those poor dogs.
Yeah, they're like, offensive.
But maybe not to this extreme, right? But I would definitely start putting out a tin with, or whatever you guys are using. The thing doesn't matter.
Plastics.
So, put out a thing with one Q-tip, put out a thing with 10 or 20. Doesn't matter on the odor, and it can be an interior, exterior. Watch how they work through it. Because some of them were like, holy crap, odor! Well, I mean, they couldn't wait to get to that box. Some of the rest of them were like, oh my God, oh God, thank God, birch. Yes, yeah. Birch.
Yeah.
So why did he go back to his pawing, which is initially what he did on boxes?
I think he's like,
Is that get away from it? I like this much better, and I'm just telling
yeah,
you.
I don't want to go back there.
Okay.
I don't want to go back there. And he showed you,
And he
Jack-
by alerting on the other boxes.
I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't until he was like, fine, So run boxes again with your food, I bet you don't see the point.
Okay.
I bet you don't. If you do, don't worry about it. You just don't get rewarded for that, and
Well-
they'll work through it really quickly.
And if he really would paw in other things, that would be fine. That could be his, I would be happy with that. But it sort of faded away after we left boxes, and I didn't worry about getting it back.
Yeah,
Because there's so many things he's not going to be able to paw.
they still try. I mean, Gracie's is a
Well,
paw.
that's true.
Gracie has a paw. She paws everything.
All right.
The only thing they're not going to paw, now you see for your question yesterday. You had a question on a high hide and a final response behavior
Yeah.
yesterday. Now you see what I'm saying.
He would have stopped right there and pawed, and I'm like, well, at least it's right here.
He might not have pawed. My
Well,
dog's
that's
alert is
true.
a down.
Uh-huh.
If he sees a high hide, he is not downing.
Okay.
He's gonna go. Right? And I'm gonna have to read that and put something on that if
Yeah.
I can't read this well enough, which is where I say, good boy, sit. Huh. And I guarantee you, if I work enough of them, within 10 hides, he's gonna go, oh.
Yeah, right there.
He'll do it by himself. So, high elevation hides and inaccessible hides.
Right, are just going to be different.
Inaccessible, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It depends on your dog and whether or not they're satisfied with that's as close as I can get. Here's my final alert. Or, can't get in there, I'm just going to bracket until something else happens and you have to read it.
So how can they make you tell what your final response is going to be in old UKC when it might depend on what the height is?
Because you use the or word.
Okay.
This or that or blah, blah, blah.
Or.
Yep,
Maybe they'll get smart and go,
I hope so.
I bet
As
you,
a judge, if they ever ask, I definitely have my opinion.
I bet the judges can't. Well, if I was a judge, I couldn't look at each sheet and watch each dog and say, was that on your list? Because it's like watching these dogs. I'm like, oh, they almost got it. They almost got it. They almost got it.
No, to me, if a dog is like, and a handler says alert, I'm gonna go, what's on your sheet, right? Because, I
Right.
mean, that to me, if I can't read it, if I cannot read a change of behavior and an alert on a dog, and you can, I need to know what your behavior is.
Behavior is.
If I see a dog like,
Yeah.
right, and if they call it, I'm probably, if they have a 9,000 list on their sheet, I'm not reading them all. Good, yes, go.
I don't understand it. I mean, if the handler doesn't know where the thing is, then why, they obviously, the dog was giving some sign.
Exactly.
So why